Okay, welcome back to how to repair a lawnmower. So in the next couple of videos I'm going to show you the process of how to buy and sell lawnmowers. So first of all, I've been on a few selling sites. I found this selling site. I found this guy who is selling 4 spares or repairs lawnmowers. Only one of them's got a grass box and also a couple of strimmers. Now he wanted £80, I offered him 75 and he accepted. So we're going to go down, we're going to pick them up, bring them back, and we'll see you soon. Hey, this is David from How to Repair a Lawnmower. Hope you're okay. We're just going down now to a place called Wellingborough in Northamptonshire. We're going to pick up some mowers and hopefully we're going to spin them around and sell them. So we're going to try and go through the journey of what happens when you go, you buy a lawnmower, and then hopefully we'll do a few parts and we'll go through right to the end when we sell them, if they're sellable. So keep watching. Okay, so we come back from Wellingborough and we're on the way home. We picked up the goods and there's a couple of self-propelled in there which I'm quite happy about. They're all plastic deck, so it should be able to turn them round. There's a steel bushwhacker in there as well, which is a nice bonus. I got the lot for 75 quid. The wife has got the window open.
That's why it's a bit noisy.
Because it stinks of petrol. One of the carbs is dripping, the carb bowl's dripping. So anyway, that's what we've got.
And it's very safe because that's near my head.
You can't say that. You can't say that, I'll get in trouble. We'll edit that out. Anyway, she said, is this safe having this blade here? And I said, it's very safe. It's nowhere near my head. But that's actually held in. There's the 2 handles at the back there that are holding that in, so it is safe. Just in case anyone's watching this and they're wondering whether I'm dodgy or not. But we're going to get these back to Peterborough. We'll get them out and we'll have a look at them and see what we've got. Okay, so we're back. Lilo's come to say hello. Right, so we're going to have a look at these machines now. Excuse the other machines. One of the reasons I haven't made any videos for a while is I've been absolutely snowed under with machines. Okay, so while the dogs have a scrap, we're going to have a look round. So the machines that we bought are this one, this one, this one, and this one. So I'm going to pick this one to start with. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it up onto the bench. We're going to have a look at it. He did say this one's a runner. But I still like to service them and clean them up and get them ready. So a word of advice is whenever you're selling a lawnmower, if you can say it's had a full service, you'll sell it better. So this is a Sovereign lawnmower. Don't work on these a lot, but what we're going to do is we're going to pop the top off. We're going to take the recoil off. That'll allow us to get to the carburetor. So for this first video, we're going to take the carburetor off and we're going to give it a good clean. Okay, so while the dogs are having their mad half hour, I'll loosen these off anyway, so... Right, great. Okay. Off with the petrol cap so that we can get this off. Okay, so...
David, Lilo's going to get that screw.
Lilo's got a screw.
No, she's going to get it there.
Oh, this one. Okay, we'll get that. Last thing we need is a dog choking. Okay, so that's off. Now we'll take the recoil off. Right. Fine, just about, actually they're loose anyway. Oh, happy days. Someone's been in here. Okay. So we'll take the top off. Obviously we'll clean all the rubbish off because it just makes it look nicer, doesn't it? So here we go. And what I tend to do is any screws or nuts and stuff I take off, I pop them there and then I know where they are. Right, let's get this, he says, and then they blow away. Alright, I'm not going to put them there, I'm going to put them somewhere else. Put them there, okay. Right, so we'll take the air filter off. That doesn't look too bad actually. Quite clean. Not really, it's a little bit oily, so we'll give that a clean later. Okay, so here's your carburetor. Personally myself, I love working on Briggs & Stratton. I think they've got great carburetors, but these are okay as well. They're not as much fun to work with. So the first thing you need to do is just take off the fascia for the air filter. And that's where your carburetor is. As you can see on the top there, these are quite long screws. They go all the way down. So there we go. That's that off. Now I always say, no matter how much you work on these machines, it's always a good idea, just take the breather pipe off there, to just take a picture of where everything connects. Like here, you've got a connection here and here. You've also got a connection here. And then if you want to, you can go under and have a look there. So the next thing we're going to do is we need to take the fuel pipe off. Now this is a bit of a tricky one because it can pour out everywhere. So here, you've got a little clamp, and all you need to do is pinch the clamp and then just move it down. It's a bit of a pig to try and do, but okay, let's get a bit nearer. There we go. Okay, so that's off now. And then what I do is, when I'm working on these, which is rare, but when I do work on these and I take this off, I then take one of the long bolts that goes through. So this is one of the bolts that goes through here. I'll just pop it in the end of here and then just twist it in, and that'll just stop petrol pouring out, and you don't need a clamp. Okay, so right, so usually you have a gasket here, and as you can see, the gasket's gone anyway. The other half's probably on the other bit of the backing. So again, we've taken a picture of this, so we can quite happily just take these off. Okay, and there's your carburetor. We'll take that over to the table now and we'll give that a really good clean. So the next thing we want to do is just start to take the carburetor apart. You can see got a bit of petrol in it. So we're just going to crank this nut off here. Now you can see that's definitely fuel getting to this carburetor, which is great. Okay. And then we'll pull this little pin out here, which is for the float. We'll take the float off, and then there's a tiny little pin in here. I'll show you it. Okay, you don't want to lose that. Pop that in there. And the next thing we'll do is we have some, not WD-40, some carb cleaner. There we go, I've got STP carb cleaner. And this is where we're going to just go through any holes that we see. Also give the carb a bit of a clean. You see this stuff on here, and then we can use a brush just to get any of that dirt off there. We've also got that little carb bulb gasket. Okay, now down here, you can see in there, there's a little jet in there, and that come out with a flathead screwdriver, preferably one that will fit in there, like this one. And we'll just turn that, and that should come out. Nearly. There we go. And there's also a tiny little, it looks like a flute, that goes in there as well. That will need cleaning out. So again, we'll go in with the carb spray and we'll just flow through there, give that a clean, and then give it a bit of a blow with an air compressor if you have one. If not, you can buy cans of air. That'll do the same job. Now also what you can do is, I mean, I can see right through those, they're pretty good. But you can go through those with a very, very small piece of plastic, maybe a bit of toothbrush or something, clean them out. For the purpose of this video, I'm not going to do that. So we'll pop that one back in there, and then we have the other bit that we had at the bottom that we unscrewed. We'll go through there. You have to excuse my hands and my fingers, they're filthy because I've run out of gloves. I've ordered some more, but they haven't come yet. Anyway, so that goes back. And again, a bit of a tighten up. The carb is relatively clean actually. So the next thing we'll do is we'll just blow off the bulb. And also the tiny little pin that we had, which I'll put some carb cleaner in there, so that's cleaned it up. That'll go back in, so that goes back in there like that. You see that? And in it goes. And then when you're putting the float back on, there's a groove at the bottom.
Don't you need to put a seal back on first?
No, not yet. But thanks for your input. So, I'll get slapped for that later, won't I? Okay. So that float will go back in there. Okay, and we can see the action there. And then if you just look really closely there, you'll see that that's pushing down on that little pin. Okay. The next thing we'll do is put the seal back on. Now sometimes I will replace these, but like I said, it's rare that I work on these and I haven't got any seals at the moment. But I do have the gasket, thankfully. Okay, so give the inside of the bowl a good clean. I mean, that stuff that's in there, look at that. That's really bad actually. You can see that there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that a really, really good scrub, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've pretty much got that as clean as I can. I wouldn't advise using a paper towel. Better to use a rag because you don't want to get any bits of paper in there. But I'm going to rinse that out anyway. I'm out of rags as well, so I'll order some of them. Okay, so I've got that relatively clean as I'm going to get it. I'm not going to go mad. So your bowl goes back on, and then we've given this a bit of a clean. It's got a little seal on it as well. That goes on the top. There we go. And then, so, given this a clean, I got a slap from the wife for being cheeky to her, which I thoroughly deserved. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we've got a new gasket. So I did one a couple of weeks ago actually. There's a gasket for that one, but then there's the gasket for the one we just did. And see that stuff there? That was the stuff that came out of the carb. Okay, so there's the gasket. This gasket fits on this side. I have to clean that off actually. Can you see where the gasket was? This there. So we'll give that a little bit of a clean. Good. Right, let's get this back on the machine then. Right, so the first thing we want to do then, before we do anything, is just pop this little fella on here. So remember we took the picture and we saw that that went there, and then before we start plugging anything in, we'll also get the fuel line on, because that can be a bit tricky, and the carb does tend to fall off and all sorts of stuff, so we'll pop that on there. We'll get petrol everywhere.
You didn't clamp it, did you?
I didn't clamp it, no.
Clamp it, people.
I think that you should do this job and I should film, because I seem to be having a really bad day and getting everything wrong. Anyway, right, that's clamped on there. Great, that's clamped on there. We're happy with that. The next thing we want to do is put this little piece on here, which I left over here. So it is, this bit goes in here, this bit goes in there like that, and then that little fella goes in there like that. And there we go. Now we make sure, if you just look here, we've got a little O-ring at the back there, and we just want to make sure that we're nice and tight to that O-ring. Now the tricky bit, okay, because we have to get our carb, get our gasket, which is here. Now you'll see that it will line up, and can you see how it's allowing for that hole there and a little bit there? And then we've got to try and get this on. So what I do is I pop it on there like that, and I pop it through. And same on the other side, and I pop it through. Okay, so that's nice and snug on there now. And then these little fellas will go all the way to the back. And then there's our breather. We'll pop our breather back on. And then we're ready to tighten up. Try and tighten them evenly as well, because remember it's a gasket, so you want to make sure that you're doing it evenly. Okay, perfect. Now the dogs have managed to get hold of my cleaning tool, and as they always do, they're fighting over it and they've wrecked it. So right, come here, drop it, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Not good for you, not good to eat. Open your mouth, babe. Like, wait, you just took a bit while I was, you cheeky, right, go on, off you go. I'll split it up in a minute. Okay, carrying on then, where are we? Right, so we're going to put the cap.
Oh, David, they got tissue
Oh,
now.
where did they, right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, drop it, thank you. Right, okay, let's get this filter on before anything else happens. Right, so filter goes back on. There is another bolt that goes in here, but I can't find it. I took it off and I can't find it, so I'll probably put that on later anyway.
Is it that bolt that you put back there?
No, that's for those. Anyway, well, it doesn't matter, because we're gonna have a look. So anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're going to put the recoil back on, we're going to put the lid back on, and then we're going to give it a start and see how it goes. We'll be back in a second. Okay, so before we do anything else, what I want to do is just check the oil. You should always check the oil on a machine that you don't know before you ever start it, just to make sure it's got oil in it, because you don't want to seize it. I mean, I checked this earlier anyway, but I'll just show you that it has some oil in it. Get attacked by the dogs. Okay, yeah, that's got oil in it. Not a lot. I'll put some more in there, but having said that, it's up to the mark, so that's fine. So Lilo wants a sniff. Have you had a sniff? Yeah. Is it all good? Yeah. Quality control. Are you happy with everything? Yeah. Great. Okay. Right. So what's different with these and the Briggs & Stratton is there is no primer bulb. So up here we just have the choke. So we'll pop it back on the choke, and then we'll get the dogs out of the way before we start them. Come on, over here. That's it. They're so used to lawnmowers now that they don't actually move when I start them. So here we go. Let's see if it starts. next thing we're going to do is we're going to show you how to take off the blade, sharpen it, balance it, put it back on. We'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe.